1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. Prime Minister thanks the UN Secretary General and Turkish President for their strong advocacy of the plight of flood victims of Pakistan at the UN General Assembly. Shehbaz Sharif, on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly session, held a meeting with IMF Managing Director and discussed matters of mutual interest. World Bank says $1 billion will be approved for flood-affected areas of Pakistan in the bank's board meeting next month. President calls for development of education sector in line with the modern trends. Hurriyat leadership says killing of innocent Kashmiris by Indian occupation authorities in illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir in fake encounters and in custody mock the global celebrations of International Day of Peace being observed today. Saudi Crown Prince has reaffirmed his country's support to Ukraine in its efforts for finding a political solution to the Ukraine-Russia conflict. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has thanked UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres for his strong advocacy of the plight of flood victims of Pakistan and drawing world's attention to the most urgent actionable issue of climate change. In a tweet, Shehbaz Sharif said the international community should move away from talking about climate to acting together. In another tweet, he lauded Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan for highlighting the need for the continued international assistance to help Pakistan deal with the disastrous floods. Shehbaz Sharif also commended Recep Tayyip Erdogan for his consistent support for the rights of the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a video message from New York, Shehbaz Sharif has appealed philanthropists and baby food manufacturing companies to come forward and donate generously to provide food to the flood-affected children. He said that the children in the flood-hit areas are facing shortage of baby food and they need urgent cooperation of the nation. He said donations with regard to baby food should be provided to the National Disaster Management Authority, provincial management authorities, and the armed forces and others. Regarding his interactions with the world's leaders in New York on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly session, Prime Minister said he apprised them of the flood disaster in Pakistan. The Prime Minister also stressed for a collective action to deal with climate change. Shehbaz Sharif said he told them that Pakistan is keen to build partnerships in the realm of trade and economy. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif will spend a second hectic day in New York today. On reaching the UN headquarters, Shehbaz Sharif will be called on by President of the World Bank Group, David Malpass. Later on, the Prime Minister will attend the high-level general debate of the 77th session of UN General Assembly. Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif will also chair a Zoom meeting on flood operations in Pakistan in order to review the pace of various flood relief and rehabilitation activities in the flood-hit areas across Pakistan. The Prime Minister will also have meetings with the President of the 77th session of the UN General Assembly, Kasaba Crossi, and President of the EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. He will also attend a closed-door leaders gathering on COP27 to be organized by Egypt. The Prime Minister will have a bilateral meeting with the President of Finland, Sauli Niinisto. In the evening, Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif will arrive at the American Museum of Natural History to attend a reception hosted by President of the United States, Joe Biden, on the occasion of 77th session of UNGA. Managing Director, International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, called on Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in New York today. During the meeting, they discussed matters of mutual interest. The meeting was held on the sidelines of the high-level general debate of the 77th session of the UN General Assembly. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has called for huge investment to build disaster-resilient infrastructure in Pakistan through coordinated efforts with international development finance institutions. He was talking to Chief Executive Officer of Development Finance Corporation of the United States, Scotland, Nathan in New York today. The foreign minister said additional capital through institutions like DFC is imperative for addressing the challenge of climate change and development in renewable energy, agriculture and business industry. The World Bank says $1 billion will be approved for flood-affected areas of Pakistan in the meeting of World Bank Board, which is scheduled next month. The announcement was made in a meeting between Chief Secretary of Sindh, Dr. Mohammad Suhail Rajput, and a 10-member delegation of World Bank led by Regional Director Sustainable Development for South Asia, John Rome, in Karachi today. The Chief Secretary informed the delegation of the World Bank about the damages caused by floods in the province. The World Bank delegation assured its full support for the rehabilitation of the flood victims. This is Radio Pakistan. President Dr. Arif Alvi has stressed on enhanced international cooperation to bridge communication gap in the global age of digitalization. He was addressing the inaugural ceremony of a 3-day conference on emerging trends in English language teaching in Pakistan, challenges and opportunities in Islamabad today. The president called for development of education sector in line with the modern trends. Speaking on the occasion, U.S. Ambassador to Pakistan Donald Bloom said the United States highly values its ties with Pakistan and is committed to strengthen these relations. Pakistan has appealed to the international community to join hands with the government to save lives and provide much-needed supplies to flood-affected people. The Embassy of Pakistan, Brussels, arranged a briefing for the Belgian and international humanitarian relief organizations and international NGOs at the Chancery today, aimed to support flood-hit people. The Ambassador of Pakistan to Belgium, Luxembourg and the European Union, Dr. Asad Majid Khan, briefed the participant about the unprecedented devastation caused by the climate-induced disaster in Pakistan, which has badly affected over 33 million people. First relief assistance flight from Russia has landed at Jinnah International Airport, Karachi. Relief goods include food items, tents and water cleaning devices. The International Day of Peace is being observed around the world today. According to the United Nations, this year the theme of the day is End Racism and Build Peace. The UN General Assembly has declared this as a day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace through observing 24 hours of non-violence and ceasefire. Coinciding with the ongoing 77th UN General Assembly session in New York, the world is observing International Day of Peace today, which is meaningless for around 15 million Kashmiris who are facing the worst state terrorism let loose by India in occupied Jammu and Kashmir for the past 75 years. A report released by Kashmir Media Service in connection with the day today said that day-to-day killings, including that of top resistance leader Sayyid Ali Galani and Muhammad Ashraf Sehrai in fake encounters and in custody, mock the global celebrations of the Peace Day. The report maintained that 21st September is dedicated to the global peace, but the same continues to elude South Asia for the past more than 7 decades due to the free license enjoyed by the brutal Indian occupation troops to carry out massacre of the Kashmiri people with impunity. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has reaffirmed the kingdom's support to Ukraine's efforts for finding a political solution to the conflict with Russia. During a meeting with a special envoy for Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky in Jeddah, the Crown Prince said that his country has said kingdom will continue making efforts to help mitigate the humanitarian consequences resulting from the crisis in Ukraine. The second T20 match between Pakistan and England will be played at National Stadium, Karachi tomorrow. The match will start at 7:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. England lead the 7-match series 1-0. And finally, the weather report. Mainly dry weather is likely to prevail over most parts of the country, while hot in central and southern parts during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.